Hello students, in this module we are going to see about pile foundation. As we know that foundation is a substructure which will transmit the load from the superstructure to the soil evenly and safely. And we have two types of foundation, and one is the shallow, other one is the deep foundation, and this pile foundation comes under in deep foundation. So here the pile foundation is a type of deep foundation in which the loads are taken to a low level by means of vertical members, and which may be either the form of timber or concrete or steel. So we'll see what is a pile. So pile is nothing a slender structural member which is made up of either concrete, steel or wood or any composite. Composite means made up of any two materials. And this pile is either driven into the soil or it is formed in the site itself by excavating a hole and filling it with concrete. So where we will go for this pile foundation, in which circumstance or in which situations? So when the load of the superstructure is heavy and its distribution is uneven, and when the topsoil has very poor bearing capacity, and when the subsoil water is high, so that pumping of water from the open trenches for the shallow foundation is difficult and uneconomical, and when there is a large fluctuation in subsoil water level, and when the structure is situated on seashore or riverbed where there is a danger of scoring action of water. So scoring is nothing but மண் அரிப்பு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா. So when the structure is situated near seashore or ரிவருக்கு பக்கத்தில் இருந்தாக்கா, so there the foundation will face a scoring. Scoring is nothing but the மண் அரிப்பு. ஓகேவா. And next is canal or a deep drainage line exists near the foundation, and for foundation of transmission towers and offshore platforms which are subjected to uplift forces. So here we can see some structures, some pictures showing scoring offshore platform and for transmission towers. And what are the factors affecting while selecting the types of piles? There are some factors we have to consider while selecting piles. So nature and type of the structure, then what is the location, then material, equipment and the fund availability. So fund means when compared to the shallow foundation, the cost will be somewhat high only. So that also we have to consider. Then what is the type of soil and their properties, then groundwater table, then durability of pile, length and the number of piles, then the case study of the adjacent building, then the facility for pile driving, then erosion of soil near the structure. And coming to the classification of piles, so we have three classification. The first one is based on their functions, then based on the materials, and based on the method of installation. So we'll see one by one. So based on the function, we have all these types: the end bearing, friction, compaction, tension, anchor, fender, batter and sheet piles. So we'll see one by one. So end bearing pile, so the end of the pile, it will bear all the load. So that's why it is called as end bearing load. So it will penetrate through the soft soil. So this is a type of soil pile is preferred where the soil is very soft in nature, and the pile is driven till we get a hard strata, or the bottom or the tip of the pile rest on the hard strata. Okay, so here the ultimate load will be equal to the pile load. Next is the friction pile. So here the friction pile, so this is suitable in case of the loose soil where it extend to a greater depth. So ரொம்ப deeper depthலையும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபுல்லாக வந்து லூசர் சாயிலாக இருக்கிறப்ப we can go for this friction pile. The sides of the wall இருக்குல்ல, பைலோட வால்ஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா, ஸோ அது வந்து சாயிலுக்குள்ளே ட்ரைவ் பண்ணும்போது it will create some friction. So that friction itself it will resist the load. So these piles are driven at depth where the friction resistance developed will be equal to the load. And total friction resistance can be increased either by increasing length and diameter, making pile surface rough, and placing closely or grouping of piles. Next is the compaction pile. So this pile do not carry any load, just it will increase the bearing capacity of soil. Next is the tension piles. So when structure subject to uplift due to hydrostatic pressure or overturning moment, so there we can go for this tension pile, or we can say uplift pile. So here they have applied for transmission towers. So next is the Anchor piles. So these provide anchorage against the horizontal pull from sheet pulling or any other pulling. Next is the fender piles. So they are used to protect waterfront structures against impact from ships and other floating objects. So they mainly adopt in the place of harbors and docks. Okay. And batter piles, they are used to resist the horizontal forces or any inclined forces. And the sheet piles, they are used as bulkhead or as impervious cutoff to reduce seepage and uplift under hydraulic structures. Okay. So this is classified as concrete sheet piles, steel sheet pile, timber sheet piles. And classification based on the materials. So we have concrete pile, steel pile, timber pile, composite piles, and sand pile. And again in the concrete pile, again it is further divided into precast piles and cast in situ pile. So precast pile, as the name says, so it is those which are manufactured in the factory itself or at a place away from the construction site, and they driven into the ground at a place required. So they are ready-madely it is available, and available in the factory. It is made in the factory, and wherever we want it is taken and it is driven into the soil. And it requires a heavy pile driving machineries, and it may be either square, octagonal, or circular in cross section. And the size of the pile vary from 30 centimeter to 50 centimeter in cross section, and up to 20 to or more in length. And the grade of concrete used is M20. And cast in situ is a bore is dug into the ground by inserting a casing. Okay, so casing nothing but is a hollow cylinder. So then a bore is filled with the cement concrete after placing the reinforcement. The casing be kept in position or it may be withdrawn. The piles with casing are known as cast in situ concrete pile. The piles without casing are known as cast in situ concrete piles. Okay, so cast in situ means first they will dug a bore, okay, borehole, and in that they will place a casing. So casing is nothing but a hollow cylindrical pipe. Okay, it is made up of steel pipe. So it is driven. Okay, then caging is that is a reinforcement cage. கம்பி எல்லாம் கட்டி ரெடியாக கட்டி அந்த casing உள்ளே வந்து insert பண்ணிடுவாங்க. Then the concrete is poured inside the casing. Okay, so in that the casing, sometimes the casing they will remove after pouring concrete. So if that is the case, then it is called as cast in situ. So sorry, if the casing is present, then it is called as cast in situ. If the casing is removed, then it is called as cast in situ concrete piles. And in case of cast in situ piles, we have again some 5 types. That is Raymond piles, MacArthur piles, BSP base driven piles, Savage pile, and button bottom piles. So we'll see one by one. So Raymond piles. So it is primarily used as a friction pile, and it is provided with uniform taper of 1 in 30 shorter pile. And the length of the pile varies from 6 to 12 meter, and the top diameter is 40 to 60 centimeter, and the bottom diameter is 20 to 30 centimeter, and the collapsible mantle is driven into the ground. And when the pile is driven to the desired depth, mantle is collapsed and withdrawn, and the shell is gradually filled with concrete up to the top level. Next is the MacArthur pile. MacArthur is a pile of uniform diameter using corrugated sheet shell which remain in place as in Raymond piles. A heavy steel casing with a core is driven into the ground. When the desired depth is reached, the core is withdrawn and a corrugated steel shield is placed in the casing. Then concrete is placed in the shell by gradually compacting and withdrawing the steel casing. Next type is BSP base driven piles. So this pile consists of a helically welded shell of steel plate. A concrete plug is provided at the bottom of the shell. Then driving is done by allowing hammer to fall on the concrete plug. Then the casing is driven to the desired depth, and then it is filled with the concrete. Next is a Savage pile. So it is used with the advantage of driving in very hard, or it is designed to leave watertight shell for some time filling of the concrete. And steel shell is placed on the precast concrete plug. The pipe is driven over plug until the core reached the plug. Then the pipe is savaged out by taper of plug, which forms a watertight joint. And then it is driven, the pipe is driven to a specified depth by help of driven force of core, and the core is removed and pipe is filled with concrete. Next is butt and bottom piles. So it is used where increase of end bearing area is required. So this pile use concrete plug shape of button which enlarge hole in soil during driving. It is used for length up to 23 meter and load up to 50 tons, and 12 mm thick steel pile set on concrete button which have diameter of 25 mm. And pipe and button driven to a specified depth, and the casing is removed and the concrete is placed with reinforcement. And in case of uncased cast in situ piles, so we have some 5 types. So simplex, Franke, vibro, pedestal and pressure. So we'll see one by one. So simplex piles, so these are driven through soft or hot soil, and steel tube fitted with the cast iron shoe is driven into the ground up to a desired depth. And if the reinforcement is necessary, then it put in tube, then concrete is poured in piles, and the tube is withdrawn slowly without concrete being tamped. And Franke piles, so they are used at place where a high load is transferred. For example, in the case of marine structures, and plug of dry concrete is formed on the ground by heavy removable pipe shell. By help of diesel operated hammer of 20 to 30 kilonewton weight, plug is driven at desired depth, and the diameter of pile is 50 to 60 centimeter, while at enlargement it is 90 centimeter. The capacity of the pile is 60 to 90 tons. Next is the vibro piles. So this type of pile is best suited for places where the ground is soft and offer very little frictional resistance to the flow of concrete. And piles are formed by driving a steel tube and shoe filling with concrete and a withdraw steel tube. And the diameter is 35 to 50 centimeter for a load of 60 to 70 tons. And the length is 25 meter and above. And steel tube fitted with cast iron shoe by 20 to 2.5 ton hammer by 40 blow per minute with a stroke about 1.4 meter. And when shoe and tube reach the desired level, then the tube is filled with concrete and the tube is withdrawn at 80 blow per minute by hammer. And the steel tube is withdrawn, leaving the shoe in place, and the pile is formed with corrugation along its height. Next is the pedestal pile. It is used where thin bearing strata is reached with some reasonable depth. And the pedestal piles gives the effect of spread footing on thin bearing stratum. And core and casing are driven together into the ground till reach the desired level. And the core is taken out and a charge of concrete is placed in the tube. The core is again placed in the casing to rest on the top of poured concrete. Then the pressure is applied on the concrete through the core, and at the same time the casing is withdrawn. The last one is the pressure pile. So they are especially suitable for congested piles where heavy vibration and noise are not permissible. So boring is done up to for the required depth. After withdrawn, boring tool reinforcement is placed if required, and a layer of concrete is laid, and then a pressure cap is provided on the top of the tube. Then compressed air is admitted through pipe which cause rise the tube. The tube is lifted, same time of concrete is done by means of compressed air, and the care should be taken that some portion of concrete remain at the bottom when tube is lifting or receiving new layer. Next is the steel piles. So here also we have some H pile and tube piles. So these H piles they are widely used. They are suitable for truss-style type structure in which pile extend above ground level and act as a column. So in this picture we can see, and they have small cross section area, therefore for they can be easily driven into the soil, and they used as a long pile with a high bearing capacity. Next is the box piles. They are rectangular octagonal which is filled with the concrete, and they are used when not possible to drive H piles into hard stratum. And tube piles, tubes or piles of steel are driven to the ground, and the concrete is filled inside the tube, and because of the circular cross section, this is very easy to handle and also easy to drive. And the timber piles, they are prepared from trunks of trees and may be circular or square in shape. The diameter is 30 to 50 centimeter and the length not exceeding 20 times its top width. At bottom, a cast iron shoe is provided, and at the top a steel plate is fixed. And for group pile, each pile is brought at same level and concrete plate is provided to have a common platform. And composite piles are nothing but where two different materials are driven one over the other. So they act together to perform the function of a single pile, and its advantage is durability of concrete piles and the cheapest of timber piles. And the timber pile is terminated just as the level of groundwater table. And the sand piles, so they are formed by making hole in the ground and it is filled with sand and well rammed. And the sand to be used should be of moist at time of placing, and a borehole diameter usually 30 centimeter and length of sand pile is kept about 12 times its diameter. And the top of sand pile is filled with concrete. Sand pile all placed at 2 to 3 meter spacing, and a load test should be carried out determining the bearing capacity of sand pile. And properly compacted sand pile can carry a load up to 100 ton per meter square or even more. And based on method of installation, we have driven piles, driven and cast in situ, bore and cast in situ, screw and jacked piles. So driven piles are the piles which are driven into the ground by applying a blow with the help of hammers. And it may be timber, steel and precast concrete piles are installed by driving. And in this case, driven and cast in situ, the piles are driven by driving a casing with a closed bottom end into the soil. Then the casing is later filled with concrete and the casing may or may not be withdrawn. Next is bore and cast in situ piles. So these are formed by excavating a hole into the ground, and then reinforced caging is placed, and then finally concrete is filled. And screw piles, it is screwed into the ground, somewhat similar to auger boring. Okay. And jack piles, though these piles are jacked into the ground by applying hydraulic jack force. And the last one is the under-reamed piles, which serving foundation for black cotton soil, filled up ground and other type of soil having poor bearing capacity. So it is a bored cast in situ pile having one or more bulb or under-reamed in its lower level. The bulb or under-reamed are formed by under-reaming tool, and the diameter is 20 to 30 centimeter and bulb diameter is 2 to 3 times of diameter piles. And the length of pile is 3 to 8 meter and spacing or some 2 to 4 meter. The load carrying capacity can increase by making more bulb at the base. So the vertical spacing between two bulb varies from 1.25 to 1.5 times its diameter of bulb. And for black cotton soil, the bulb is increase bearing capacity, and also it provide anchorage against uplift pressure. And its construction is very simple. So first the boring is done by means of a spiral auger. Then for making bulb, we have to use under reamer. Then the casing is placed, that is the reinforced caging is placed, and finally concrete is poured. So here we can see, so the boring is made by using spiral auger. Then we have to make the bulb like shape. So for that they use under reaming tool. And next is they are placing the reinforcement, and finally concrete is placed. Okay. Thank you.